Most of you are, you lack confidence because of the obstacles in your life, right? This showed up. I'm not good at this. This is an obstacle. I don't have the skill. I don't have the talent. I don't have the ability. I live in a small town. Whatever it happens to be. All of us have obstacles. All of us do. But the skill and the thing that will help you gain confidence is to turn those obstacles, the obstacles themselves, into an opportunity. And here's how to do it. Marcus Aurelius, 170 AD, he said, "Our actions may be impeded, but there can be no impeding our intentions or dispositions because we can accommodate and adapt. The mind adapts and converts to its own purposes the obstacle to our acting." The last line says, "The impediment to action advances action. The obstacle becomes the way. What stands in the way becomes the way." Sounds strange, right? How can this obstacle? I don't want an obstacle. I want a smooth path. That might serve you. I don't think it will. Bad leaders are destroyed by crisis. Crisis shows up. Company changes your compensation plan. Bad leaders are destroyed. You have to change the ingredient in your favorite product. Bad leaders are destroyed. Negative press or unfair press happens with your company. Bad leaders are destroyed. Good leaders survive. Being a survivor, that's what good leaders do. Great leaders are improved by crisis. Improved by crisis. It creates an opportunity to build something even more important and be something even more important. Leaders spend 5% of their time on the problem and 95% of the time on the solution. Weak leaders do the opposite. Spend 95% of, well, what is this? And worry and doubt and concern and everything else. Good leaders spend 95% of the time on the solution to any problem and how to use it to your advantage. When one person sees a crisis, another can see an opportunity. And by doing this, you'll gain confidence. Confidence is a two-way street. In one sense, you come in with confidence and you'll look for opportunities in the midst of crisis. On the other side, if you lack confidence, crisis shows up, you can do it to build some confidence. Make sense? So, for example, when I forgot the words to the song, that was a crisis for a performer. I learned how to handle it, and I went, oh, okay. And it became part of my DNA. It was okay. I could roll with anything. That obstacle became part of my personality. Worked out for me. Michael Nelson leaves town. Crisis in the local meetings. I was able to turn that crisis into an opportunity, change the course of my career. Desperation, despair, fear, powerlessness. These reactions are functions of your perceptions, what you perceive. You despair because you perceive this to be overwhelming to you. You feel powerless because you perceive this to be insurmountable to you. The questions I asked you, what are your confidence issues? Your perception of those confidence issues is the issue. That's your perception. You control that. When faced with an obstacle, here's some tips. Number one, be objective. Put it in its proper perspective. Let's not overblow it. Be objective. Number two, control your emotions. Don't need to be out of control with your emotions. Choose to see the good. How can we use this? What can we do with it? How can we turn it to our advantage? Steady your nerves. Don't get yourself all riled up. It's going to be fine. Ignore what disturbs or limits others. Remember I told you I kind of liked it when people didn't come back to the conference and I did? Take a look at what average people do in the face of crisis and don't do that. What do? They panic, They gossip. They worry. They hide. They run away. They use it as excuses. They blame. Just decide that's not going to be you. It's really easy. Just see what they do and just don't do it. Whatever the most people, even in your company, are doing in the face of crisis, just don't do that. You're going to be fine. Put things in perspective. Place things in proper perspective. Focus on what can be controlled. And there's a lot of things you can control. And as you learn to control these, your confidence goes up, 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 up. When you put your life in other people's hands, your confidence is always a little shaky. You know, you might not have job security confidence in your job because it's not in your control. Perception, action, and will. This decision for you, take a look at the perception of the issue. Decide what actions you're going to take and what will you're going to bring to bear in order to be able to make it so.